and good luck in the future.
We'll have everyone come up here
Yeah, we need a picture.
for a photo. Everyone from the sheriff's office, please. And your family. You can come up too.
Have a nice sit.
You got it, Stefan?
Are they going to be up here or in the front? Thank you. Thank you. Oh, thank you. You and your family.
Sorry about all our chairs.
That's all right.
He's got a head on me, so I know I gotta be. Compliment. All right, thanks again, Doug, for your service, and we'll move on to consideration of agenda items. Is there any additions or corrections?
No changes.
Is there a motion to approve?
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Wright and seconded by Commissioner Schmaltz.
Mr. Chair,
Go ahead.
I do have additions for the workshop agenda, but not for the regular agenda.
Okay, fine, we'll do that on the consent.
Okay.
Motion made and seconded for the agenda. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, motion carries. Consent agenda.
Mr. Chair, I have additions for the workshop agenda.
Okay,
3 items. Discussion regarding slow no-wake zone ordinance and Border County shared waters. Because of the change in Meeker County with their slow no-wake zone, they asked for discussion, especially on Bell Lake, since we share that body of water. Our membership for the Transportation Alliance, we would like to have discussion for that. And then the rifle zone change hunting discussion as well.
is there any more additions?
No other changes, Mr. Chair.
Hearing none, is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Mr. Chair, I'll move consent agenda with the additions that Administrator Murphy mentioned.
Motion made by Commissioner Smalls, is there a second? Second by Lori. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, the motion carries. All right, extension. Kieran and a crew. Welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for having us and giving us some time on the agenda today to talk about the work that we've been doing in Extension. My name is Lori Vici. I am the Regional Director for Extension with McLeod County, but also Meeker, Wright, then Stearns, Benton, Sherburne, and Morrison as well. And I am probably the proudest of the RDs because the counties I get to work with are ones that have these partnerships that you were graciously willing to give a try about 4 years ago now. You might recall that we changed the way that we do extension work in McLeod County, going from a model where you have one educator that needs to know everything about everything to partnering with other counties to share educators so that they can specialize. So today we're here to do two things. One is to recognize our Farm Family of the Year. That is the biggest award that Extension gives out every year. We select a farm family in each county, and our Extension Committee does that. The farm family could not be here with us today, but we'll talk a little bit about them and who they are, and then also to share with you all the work that we're doing in the partnership that you are supporting. As I said, the partnership is one that multiple counties come together to have more than one educator. So you partner with Meeker County and Wright County to have 3 educators. They are all 3 here today. These are agriculture educators. We have Karen Johnson, who is your specialist in livestock from McLeod County. Yes.
McLeod County.
Yes. Emily Lindenfelter, who is your horticulture expert, and Taylor Herbert, who is your crops expert. So I will do no talking because I'm an expert in nothing, and I will let them talk about all the work that they're doing for the county.
So like Lori said, our farm family unfortunately was not able to be here this morning because of a last minute conflict, but the 2025 McLeod County Farm Family of the Year is Goat Shine, or the Becker family, Ed and Tracy. They originally started Goat Shine out of a need to make some skincare products for their son, and then it kind of morphed into raising Nigerian dwarf goats for events. So they go to a lot of different events and bring their goats, like goat yoga. A few weeks ago, there was an event at the winery here, so it kind of blossomed into that, and they've been really supportive of 4-H and FFA. And we are going to recognize them at the 4-H livestock auction this year at the county fair. So that would be a place that you could see them and meet them. Otherwise, they'll also be at Farm Fest this year in Morgan, Minnesota, if you wanted to attend that as well. So we wanted to run through some of our programs and technical assistance from the previous year. Last year in McLeod County, we answered a total of 109 technical assistance questions. This includes phone calls, emails, texts, Facebook, all sorts of things, and site visits as well. We do go out to people's homes. And in the Tri-County, we had a record number of technical assistance calls at 426. We put the top questions there to give you an idea of what we get called about. Trees, I get a lot of tree questions. And then crops with Taylor, home garden questions, and then weed ID, and then livestock care for Karen. Some issues that we're seeing this year, and then also at the end of last year, were some weather-related plant issues. In that one picture with the lawn there, that's a fungus in the lawn. I've also been seeing a lot of fungal issues in trees, especially last year, and then with all the rain that we've seen this year too. And then that picture on the right is actually really a cool picture of an elm tree that has these galls sticking out of it. So really cool picture. Anything else that my other educators want to say? Don't have as cool pictures as Some horticulture programs that are currently happening or did happen in McLeod County. We always host the Gardening from the Ground Up webinar series. Winter Garden College came back this year for the first time in 8 years, and that's a picture of me teaching that. We focus on soil health and cover crops in the home garden. I launched a new program called the Tri-County Winter Webinar Series due to an increase in questions about beginner gardening and offering courses that are accessible to people that are working. So those were recorded and also posted to YouTube, so people can view those at a later date. And then we always have our annual public outreach events that we attend, youth events, and we brought back the Junior Master Gardener Camp again this year. We did that for the first time last year, partnering with 4-H, and that was the first time in 15 years that we held that. So we brought that back, and then we'll move into Master Gardener programs. So currently today, we have 28 active members and 3 interns. From 2024, our volunteers recorded about 2,100 volunteer hours in McLeod County, and that came out to about $76,000 that was brought back to McLeod County and helping folks out. Some of our big program highlights: we expanded on gardening knowledge for free. Our Garden Magic event was held again this year at a night event. and you can see in the top right corner, that's Garden Magic. Our Hutchinson Farmers Market is really popular, and Chris at the bottom there is working with the kids at the garden out there. And then we have expanded on some combined education with partnering with Meeker County Master Gardeners. So I've been putting together and coordinating some education for their own professional development so they can continue to go out and educate others.
All right, shifting gears here, talking a little bit about some of the livestock programming that's happening in the county. The last couple months, I've been taking quite a bit of my time developing a program for the city of Hutchinson. They are doing backyard chickens and allowing residents to get them. So one thing that they asked me to do was to put together a educational video that folks could take part in ahead of getting their license, so they have that base education before they get poultry and have them implemented into the city of Hutchinson. I'm hoping to get that officially shared by the end of this week and have that be a part of their future as they continue and explore having backyard chickens. Other kind of hot topics that I've been coming across, I get lots of questions related specifically to pasture management and how whether it be stocking density or different varieties of legumes or grasses that folks want out there, and then trying to make quality hay, which I think Paul can relate to. Trying to time and get hay dry when it rains every 3 days has been a challenge for folks. So just continuing to support the livestock producers in the area in some of those questions. Next, you can see my background is in dairy, so I do focus quite a bit of my time to support the dairy industry here in McLeod County as well, and you can see some of those programs listed. In addition to elevating many of the statewide programs through extension that I'm able to bring down as well, whether it be beef quality assurance, some of our goat and sheep webinars, and poultry webinars. One other kind of fun project that Taylor and I partner on is our alfalfa scissor cut program, and so that happens in May, where we go out and sample fields to help farmers, whether they're beef, primarily dairy, but beef, dairy, as well as some of our goat and sheep farmers that are trying to get that quality of alfalfa off of their first cut. Once farmers know when they can cut that first round, then they've got a continual pattern that they can follow, but getting that ideal first cut and finding that sweet spot between quality and quantity is really important for that first cutting of alfalfa. So that's kind of a fun program that we partner on. One other key partnership I want to elevate too is our connection with the Hutchinson Chamber of Commerce. And so they have a great agribusiness committee made up of a lot of area bankers, just avid farmers, people that want to continue to develop and support agriculture across our county. And we, myself and Taylor as well, serve on that committee and really enjoy hosting and helping with a number of different programs, including the fall farm bucket fatigue buckets, and then Dairy Day at the Park as well in Hutchinson. So with that, I will pass it to Taylor.
All right. I'm going to talk a little bit about our crops programs. So our flagship program here in McLeod County that pulls in folks not only from McLeod but also from surrounding counties is the Crop Management Input Seminar. And that happens every December. And we bring research from the university as well as a keynote speaker, usually focusing on marketing of some kind to bring them in and provide that education to the farmers in McLeod. And then another kind of, annual, I'll go through some of the annual events we do every year, farmland rent workshops. Probably rental rates and economics is one of the number one questions that I get. I get these questions both from landowners and from farmers that are renting. Everyone just wants to know what's the fair deal out there, so we do workshops as well to help folks get that education. And then private pesticide applicator trainings. These are required for folks to do every 3 years. If they are applying restricted use pesticides. So we provide that as well, and we were actually the first event hosted in Century Hall. So that was pretty exciting. That was where we did pesticide training this year. And then I also like to focus a lot on soil health education. This is something that time and time again, folks have told me that they want more of. It's a really hot topic right now in crops. So we did do an alternative tillage day, partnering with the Soil and Water Conservation District here in McLeod to host that last March. And then this March, we also hosted a compaction workshop. So just talking about how different soil health practices, whether it's cover crops, reducing tillage, things like that, can impact the soil on your farm and improve profitability as well. And then also, I won't touch too much on it because the other two ladies here did a great job talking about the public outreach that we do. So Emily and I work together to do Community Ag Day again this year. And then we also participate in Nature Field Day that also is put on by our Soil and Water Conservation District. So we help provide some education to kids that come out to learn more about, what goes on our farms here. I also do some kind of research-focused projects, so similar to what Karen mentioned. So pest trapping, so making sure that when there's research being done at the statewide level within Extension, that we do have data and information that's coming from our local area. So I put out cutworm traps every year. We get that information. I think this year we had the most flights in McLeod and Wright County that we've ever had, as far as I know, that this trap has been going on. However, luckily, I think they all drowned because we didn't actually end up having too much cutworm activity in June, which is usually when you see a lot of it. And I didn't see too much, so I think that might have been one good thing that happened with all the rain. And then I'll be putting out a corn rutworm trap here shortly around Plato to look for corn rutworm. That's something that we're going to be looking for the females because they lay their eggs, and then it's a concern for the following year. So always trying to look ahead here when it comes to the crops research that we do alfalfa scissor cut. And then that picture there is me up in a combine here for the harvest weed seed control project that's happening, putting a mechanism on the back of a combine that crushes weed seed as it comes out the back. Really cool research that's happening here in McLeod County. And then, of course, I always help with the test plot variety trial with McLeod County corn and soybean growers as well. All right, so with that, we won't take too much more of your time, but thank you so much for listening to us today. And there's our contact information if you do want to reach out. If you are not already getting our newsletters or following us on social media, highly recommend it. That's where we post a lot of our events. So if there's anything of interest that you would like to attend, that's kind of the best way to hear about them, is either on Facebook or through any of our newsletters. So anything else anyone wants to add? All right, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for a great presentation. One question I do have, you said you had 400 and some questions. Is that different questions, or some of the, I would guess there's a whole bunch of redundant ones mixed in with that?
Yeah, I mean, all different questions from different people, and then sometimes I'll have a question from the same person a month later, so I'll still count that. But we don't count each question either, so sometimes someone will call me and ask me 5 questions. I just count that as one.
It's kind of fun though, isn't it? I mean, it kind of makes...
I like going out to people's houses a lot, so the site visits are really helpful, and people like to get me out there too to see what's going on.
Well, thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you.
Mr. Chair,
Go ahead.
before I let the gals get away, I was going to ask Emily, you said your top call is about trees. Is it centered around emerald ash borer? What's your top question concerning trees?
Yep, I would say emerald ash borer is a big one. Just diseases of trees in general. So with a rainy year, it's fungal diseases. People just send me pictures of the leaves. Oak wilt is another question I get a lot. And then apple trees, lots of questions on apples. And then pruning trees in general. I think those are kind of the themes.
Very good. And Mr. Chair, I do want to take this opportunity to thank Extension for the services they give, not just McLeod County, but the other counties as well. It's a great resource for people to be looking up. I also want to reference for the public who are watching this morning that it's not just for the farm community. It's for all residents, whether you live in a city or a farm. So keep that in mind when you have questions. That's why you ladies can serve the way you do. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Just want to bring up a couple of points before they disappear. So This spotlight that we do in July has always been a highlight for me. I get to hang around the extension office quite a bit, and what these three ladies bring to the table is, I think, is to them it's more than just a job. It's a passion for each one of them, and I really appreciate their dedication to service. But what makes what we saw here today unique is that if we go back in time, an extension agent was the jack of all trades. It was one person that did all of this. And maybe Lori wants to fill in a little bit more, any of you can, but what we have here in McLeod County is a tri-county relationship with Meeker and Wright, which allows us to share a specialist in horticulture, a specialist in livestock, and a specialist in crops, which we saw each one of those three here today. And I will admit, when we came up with that model, I wasn't so sure. I was one of them that was like, I wonder how that's going to work, but it's worked perfectly. It's worked absolutely awesome. And again, just bring up the dedication to service that these ladies create, and we're kind of missing our good support staff, Lauren, as well, and being to congratulate her and how she approaches her job every day. But this is a fantastic group, and what they bring to our constituents is this investment. We get it back so many more times over and over again. It's unfortunate our farm family couldn't make it today. I know the Beckers very well. They're very well deserved on what they do. But huge thank you for your update today, and keep doing your great work. So,
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, if I may, I'm going to step in as the new commissioner. So thank you very much for bringing this today. I'm also from the city, the big city of Brownton. So, I guess I'm very naive. And like Nathan said, it isn't just for the country folk, it's for the city folk too. So, I didn't realize we do not have chickens in Brownton yet, but if we do ever, probably going to get a hold of you to do the same thing maybe you did for Hutch. But I appreciate this. I did not realize you guys did that much. In my mind, it was 4-H or, dairy farming back in the day maybe. I don't even know, but I do appreciate it. So thank you. Keep up your good work and try and reach as many as you can.
Thank you. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you. And they do it with enthusiasm. That's
yeah.
Thanks again. All right, we'll move on to Sheriff's Office, I believe. Yes. Morning, Casey.
Good morning. How's everybody doing this morning?
Morning, good.
Good.
So, just to kind of give you some background on this, last year we had the opportunity to go out for a grant for the safe and secure courthouses. It's a grant that we got in the past. So, a group of us from the county, basically members from the Sheriff's Office, Information Technology, Building and Maintenance, and jails, and then also from the courts got together, and we kind of looked over what we had going on at the courthouse at the time, kind of made some recommendations, put in for this grant, and were awarded $46,000 for the grant. When it came time to actually go through and then get the quotes from the companies to actually do the work, they came up with some ideas and some things that they believe that we should be doing besides just the minimum kind of what we went for on the grant. So I approached you guys back on June 3rd, kind of gave you an update on how those quotes went. We had 3 companies that actually put in bids. The lowest one was LVC Companies at $159,404.30. The next company that came in was $206,755. And then the third company declined to actually put in a bid, so we only had 2 bids. So some of the things that we're looking at doing for the security improvements for the courthouse, and these are just a few of them, we're looking at doing card access for 13 additional doors compared to what we have right now, so adding those. Adding another 11 cameras, and then upgrading some of the old cameras that we have. 6 of those, they're getting kind of grainy and they're outdated, so it's time to replace those. And then one of the biggest parts of this is that a software upgrade that we need to do to make everything kind of work together. So what we're asking for today is, we also went through afterwards, when I met with you guys on June 3rd, we kind of started looking for some funding sources. and we were able to find revenue sources to actually cover all those. And so with that then, what we're asking for is for you to approve the quote for $159,404.30 then for the LBC companies out of Minneapolis.
I got a question before I'll ask for the wishes of the board. Matter, and not to sidetrack Casey, but I see you've been working together with this. Are you confident in the equipment that he's talking with? As
Yes.
far as our IT man?
Yes.
Okay. Board, your wishes? Is there a motion to approve?
Mr. Chair, I'll move request.
Go ahead. Motion made by Commissioner Schmalz. Is there a second?
I can second that.
Second by Commissioner Wright. Any more discussion?
Just want to
Go
say
ahead.
I do appreciate Casey's comments. Looks like a lot of homework went into this, so thank you for that.
It did.
Go ahead. Commissioner Schmalz.
And Mr. Chair, I think when it comes to making these investments, timing is everything, right? So I mean, there's some grant funds available. And from where I sit, I don't want to push these things off too far down the road because, like I said, I think timing, if the time is right, that's probably when we should make these improvements. So thanks for doing the research and thanks for bringing it before us today.
Absolutely.
I will echo that in discussion. I mean, for me at least, the building kind of gets pushed back because we're here now, and it's a very important and secure work that needs to be done, and it's, I believe as well that it's a good investment. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Information and technology.
Good morning.
Morning.
I've got two items this morning. The first one is to consider approval of agreement with the Multi-State Information Sharing and Analysis Center, or MSISAC, for an 18-month membership at a cost not to exceed $3,495 with funds from the information technology budget, and authorize myself, IT Manager Matt Troska, to execute the agreement electronically. The MSISAC was founded by state, local, territorial, and tribal governments for the purpose of sharing information regarding cybersecurity and had been funded by the federal government until March of 2025. The MSISAC has developed a new model that requires members to pay dues. Dues may be reduced or eliminated if federal or state funding is provided in the future. McLeod County has benefited from several services offered through its membership with the MSISAC and would like to continue its membership. If the county had to replace the currently free offerings from the MSISAC with paid services, they would cost many times more than the annual dues. The $3,495 amount is the amount of our dues with no federal or state funding. Membership will need to be renewed annually following the initial 18-month membership.
Wishes of the board or questions? Matt, now, is this a new contract? This is something we've done before, but this is a new contract. Am I understanding this right?
We've been members of the MSISAC for a number of years. This is new because we've never actually had to pay for membership before.
Okay. And in fairness to you, that's why I kind of wanted you to present it, because there was actually differences from the years before, even though the services are the same. It just makes it a lot cleaner for me. So any more questions for Matt? Otherwise, I'd look for a motion to approve.
Move to approve.
Motion made by Commissioner Wright. Is there a second? A second made by Commissioner Chaska. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 2, consider approving the quote from PCCS Inc. of New Hope, Minnesota to replace and install batteries for the Government Center uninterruptible power supply at a cost of $18,362 with funds from the information technology budget. The batteries in the government center UPS are now 5 years old, and it is recommended to replace the batteries. The batteries have a typical lifespan of 4 to 6 years. A second quote was received from Gray Bar of Brooklyn Park, Minnesota for $27,180.
Wishes of the board. It's, for me, I've dealt with some of this stuff before. 5 years, I guess, is a, there may be some good ones in there, but the bad ones take care of, kind of ruin your whole system. So go ahead, Commissioner Smalls.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, and Matt, I'll ask the hard question, right? Are these batteries special? Let's say, you know, we're going to liken them to a car battery, but what makes these batteries different, and why is the cost what it is for these batteries?
So the batteries are special in that they're in a specific form factor to fit with inside the system. I believe they're the same basic technology as a car battery, but again, they're shaped differently. They're shaped uniquely to specifically fit in the system.
And it goes without, I guess, without saying, they are rechargeable, and they make them a little bit more like your, what would you call it? It's a long-term deep reduction type battery, but go ahead, Commissioner Chatska.
And you are going to do this during working hours?
Correct.
That's your intention? Okay.
Any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye.
I don't know if that's a motion, do we?
Should we, well, is there, then I'll ask for a motion if I was thinking I had one.
I'll move request, Mr. Chair.
Okay, Commissioner, motion made by Commissioner Smalls. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Wright. Any more discussion or questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, motion carries.
Thank you.
Thanks, Matt.
Public Works, John.
Morning. Consider approving the estimate from Shower and Sons Construction Incorporated of Glencoe, Minnesota to install a sidewalk at the McLeod County Fairgrounds at a cost of $9,450 with funds from Fairgrounds capital budgets. With the completion of Century Hall, the northeast parking lot is being used by guests for events held in the building. There is currently not an Americans with Disabilities Act compliant route for visitors to access the building from that lot. The Fairgrounds Commission reviewed this project and supports its completion. A second quote was received from Creative Curb of Watkins, Minnesota for $21,700.
Thank you, John. I just wanted to emphasize the difference in the quotes, and I'm very happy to see that's a McLeod County contractor that has the low quote. I don't know if that has something to do with it or not, but it's quite a difference. But just my comment. Wishes of the board?
Just one quick question.
Go ahead.
Will this be completed before the fair? Are we going to wait on that, or?
As of right now, they're planning on completing it next week if approved.
No, good. Move to approve.
Motion made by Commissioner Wright to approve. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Commissioner Smalls. Any more discussion, questions? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Morning.
Morning. Auditor
Exact-
Treasurer Connie.
Thank you. You're exactly on time today. On June 16th, the board approved the reestablishment and correction of historical records for the CD 810 and 36 drainage systems. The next action toward system repairs would be obtaining repair reports. So I will need 3 separate motions and we'll go through them. Houston Engineering, Inc. of Maple Grove has prepared the scope of services agreements for the repair reports of county ditches 810 and 36. The fees that are provided are estimates of hourly rates and charges based upon HEI's fee schedule. Deliverables are expected to be completed by 12/31 of 2025. So item A, consider approving the June 6, 2025 scope of services agreement with Houston Engineering, Inc., Maple Grove for the repair report of County Ditch 8 at a cost of $45,500 with funds from the County Ditch 8 budget.
Mr. Chair, I'll move request.
Motion made by Commissioner Schmalz to approve. Is there a second? I'll second it. Any discussion? Go ahead, Commissioner.
Mr. Chair, at the hearing, I think I heard most of the comments was the people on the system really want the system to be upgraded or repaired. So knowing that information, it helps us up here as a drainage authority to push these projects along to completion. So this is just one of the necessary steps to get to that point. So happy it's before us today. Thank you.
Connie, short layman version is this is the engineer's report of what needs to be done on the scope of the work. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. Any more discussion? If not, all in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
Okay, item B, consider approving the June 6, 2025 scope of services agreement with Houston Engineering, Inc. of Maple Grove for the repair report of County Ditch 10 at a total cost of $42,500, including the base cost of $34,000 and an optional alternative cost of $88,500 with funds from the County Ditch 10 budget.
Mr. Chair?
Go ahead.
I will move a repair report for CD10 as specified by Connie.
Motion made by Commissioner Schmalz. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Cheska. Any more discussions? Again, question, Connie, it's basically an engineer's report and what's needed on the work to proceed.
Correct.
Mr. Chair?
Go ahead.
Before we take our vote, I wanted to make one more comment for the public that's following along. These are estimates that Houston Engineering is giving us. These are not hard numbers, but estimates, and there might be some alternatives offered with the repair. That's why we use the word estimates and options in some of these proceeds. Just wanted to make the public aware of that. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Very good. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, motion carries.
Okay, the final one, item C, consider approving the June 6, 2025 scope of services agreement with Houston Engineering, Inc. of Maple Grove for the repair report of County Ditch 36 at a cost of $30,400 with funds from the County Ditch 36 budget.
Mr. Chair?
Go ahead.
I will move the motion of the repair report for CD 36.
Motion made by Commissioner Schmalz to approve County Ditch 36. Is there a second? I'll second it. Quick question. When you say funds, each one of these had funds from the ditches that it's not for me today to find out if they have a budget itself, but it will be finally, the final reports will tell the levy on that ditch to those farmers, correct?
Correct. They will be billed to that ditch system.
Thank you. And another comment I have in my I hope it stays that way. I hate to even say this, but most of the time the engineers in today's world stay high. I mean, that doesn't always work, but we've been lucky here for a while that the engineers' reports have come out high in comparison to the work done on the project. So I keep my fingers crossed, so we'll go from there.
Mr. Chair?
Go ahead.
And one final comment before we vote on this last one. I think, we see that the quantity on the estimates changes, and Connie, maybe you can speak to that a little bit, but I think what they use is the length of the system, how many culverts are involved, the overall look of what the system looks like before they quote us these repair report estimates. Am I correct on that,
That
Connie?
is accurate.
All right, hearing no more discussion, all in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. County administration. That must mean I need to start out with calendars.
Yep.
Since our last meeting, well, of course, we had a workshop right after the meeting, and on the 12th, I believe it was, Commissioner Wright and myself drove out to look at a farm that's in the midst of a transaction with, well, quite frankly, Pheasants Forever and some challenges that are happening there. And on the 10th, I did agenda review. On the 11th, I attended by Zoom the Transportation Coalition Alliance, and I have been a little slack on that since we got 212 going. That was always a subject that kept me going, but there's a lot of other things right now going on with the Transportation Alliance or Southwest Transportation, and some repair work that needs to be done on the new sections of 212 that were completed from Cologne to Carver. They had some information on how the traffic changes were going to be done on the part they're working on right now. So, I mean, there is quite a bit, and actually, again, that doesn't quite impact us like 212 does. There's a lot of work on Highway 5, and then there's some there are intersections of, for instance, 41 and different that will really, and 7, that will really impact the big picture of transportation from 212 to 5 to 7. I mean, it all kind of works together. It'll impact us because of 7, in my opinion, is quite full, or there are a lot of traffic on there. So as 212 gets done, there's a lot of cutting across the 212 from 7 or from Hutchinson and west. But that are some of the things that we discussed at that meeting. I did write down some funding, and I also wrote down some expenses. It is quite mind-boggling when you look how much stuff costs, and they are having just some issues already by Bongards. Their existing road is sinking, so there's quite a bit more sand has to go in. I don't think it was a surprise, well, not for me at least. It's been sinking for 50 years that I've been driving on it, but however, it's just things to point out, and that's what that coalition does. So, and then I fielded a number of calls. It's just as more of a public announcement. I fielded a number of calls on Ford Avenue. Ford Avenue is no longer our road, and it was done. We do have a maintenance agreement on part of it, and I believe, from what I was told, some of that spring maintenance was done, and the part that isn't done is actually the responsibility of the city. That was done in trades with the road structure we've done from 3 to Hennepin to. It was done and documented several months ago, actually, and it's been in process for a long time. So you may want to check. At the end of the day, you may want to check where County Road 2 really runs through the town. Now it has changed. So that's all. I mean, it is a booger right now because obviously Hennepin is down 33, not 33, but Andrew, what is the county road past the 83? Okay, that one is. I mean, they're all under construction, so follow the signs. We've had some people that I know, checking them out pre-time because you got to go to the hospital kind of the old back way, and we're very conscious of trying to get a route there. So then they change pretty short. So again, watch the signs. That's all I have.
Okay, since the last time we met, I think Commissioner Kruger brought up our landowner meeting that he and I attended, and I think a lot of the concerns there with when land goes into some of these conservation ownerships, especially when it goes to either the DNR or on the federal level, it's that they just don't take care of the drainage, and that's probably the biggest concern out there. Is there's not a financial commitment like there is throughout the rest of farm country to maintain adequate drainage, and they just literally make it almost impossible in order to go in and help fix those needs. And so I think that's what really is a lot of the concern when that happens. And I have a feeling that we're going to start to see a lot more of conversations based on that down the road, especially with this particular parcel. After that, conducted interviews for the opening on the High Island Watershed Board, and we'll be seeing our next action item to approve our candidate on that. Yesterday, McLeod County Feedlot Committee met, and once again going through the concerns of making some changes to the out-of-county manure spreading. We are watching that Minnesota Pollution Control Agency is looking at revising some of the rules with that, and they're actively taking comment throughout the state of Minnesota on some of this, and so we are looking at potentially making some changes here, realizing that within 1 or 2 years down the road, the state Minnesota Pollution Control Agency through their statute 7020 definitely could be making some changes that we have to go right back to the drawing board again and adhere to. So we'll be meeting again in September to see if the needle has changed at all with some of the some of the input that the state has been taking, with kind of a eyeball on the calendar of somewhere in that November, December to maybe look at a public hearing date if we're going to make any changes to what we have here at all. After that meeting, then met with administration on our economic development committee and the topics and some ideas that are boiling up to be action items on that. So that's about it for me.
Commissioner Smalls?
Thank you, Commissioner Wright. And again, like Commissioner Wright referenced, we had a county board workshop here after our last board meeting on the 1st of July. And then on July 2nd, I had a chat steering committee meeting here at the Government Center. Chat is a steering committee that operates under our CHB. They come up with some community-driven ideas, and we do have some not just county representatives, but also some of the citizens of our districts as well are part of that chat group. Prime West did not meet in July, so I kind of was happy about not having to drive to Alexandria for Prime West. We'll be meeting again in August, and that meeting will be the first Thursday in August. On Tuesday the 8th, I was invited to join the department head meeting here at the Government Center. That meeting looks at the past and does a little bit of a review, and we review also future options that department heads might be looking at for McLeod County. We have a construction project going on in my district, both in Bergen and Winston Townships, County Road 1 construction. So knowing that we were under construction and paving was starting, I attended the Bergen Township meeting along with our Assistant County Engineer, Jaden Evenson. We were well received at that meeting, and everyone who had questions, I could direct them right to Jaden, because Jaden is more or less running the job here in our Public Works. And maybe I'll take the opportunity to call Andrew up to give us an update on where the construction is at today, right up to the minute. So I have fielded a few calls regarding construction and traffic due to construction. And also I had to visit a parcel owner on CD10 to look at some issues that he's concerned about when we do the repairs on CD10. So, Mr. Chair, if I may, I'll ask Andrew to update us on our construction project on County Road 1.
Go ahead, Andrew, thanks.
Thank you. So currently, we are in the process of concrete paving, so all the milling has been done on the concrete sections. Up in Lester Prairie and Winstead, we have completed most of the curb replacements. There's about a dozen of them left that they're working on today. The city of Winstead water main work is partially completed. They're continuing to work through that. Concrete paving side, we ran into a few weather issues and then some scheduling conflicts with a shoot at the Lester Prairie Gun Club. So as of Friday, from County Road 22 to the Lester Prairie Gun Club, we had that paved. And then yesterday we kept moving east and north, and then had a plant breakdown at about noon. They got that up and running at 6:45 this morning, so they're going right now. Hopefully we can get to about County Road 93 today. I think that's kind of the goal. It's about 1,500 feet into Lester Prairie, and then got to make the move through town and over there. So if the weather holds out, which it doesn't look like it's going to the rest of the week, we could be pretty close to being done with paving by the end of the week.
Thank you, Andrew. Before you sit down, and I've already covered what I knew of Hennepin, and was I pretty much right on what I said with Hennepin and Ford Avenue?
Yep. The county, back in December, January, I can't remember exactly when we did the whole turn back with the city of Glencoe. Ford Avenue south of 18th Street is now the city of Glencoe's. We have patched north of 18th Street and a portion of 18th Street that we could get. We have to, in the next couple of weeks, we are going to be coning off no parking on a section of 18th Street so that we can finish the patching on that. As far as the Hennepin Avenue project, they started on 15th Street, did 2 blocks of 15th Street. All the utilities are done there, and they're working on Building Road. So then they moved over to Hennepin Avenue. Hennepin is, they've been working on water main. They got all the pavement, all the removals done. They're working on water main. You'll notice Highway 22 by Casey's is closed for about the next week. That is to make the water main tie-in under Highway 22. The water main that it tees off of is in the intersection. We just could not maintain traffic through there. So that will be closed for about another week. And that will be fully up to grade and finished, and we'll be out of that intersection for the rest of the duration of the project. We're working on potentially having up to 3 crews working on utilities, underground utilities, plus CenterPoint, and some communication companies are in doing utility relocations. So that area is very busy with construction traffic, and please look at the signs and follow the detours. If you have any questions about detours, the city has maps and everything on their website.
Just to refresh everybody's memory, that you talked about the sewers and water. This is a joint effort between the city of Glencoe and McLeod County. So, I mean, we're basically responsible for the road, but we work together with the joint powers to, get the whole road completed.
Yep, correct.
And I think it's work. I mean, other than weather, I think things look pretty good, at least to me.
Yep. We're making progress. Cooperation, coordination through the city and the county has been great. Now, if we could just get the weather to coordinate a little bit. I would say we've lost about a week and a half due to rain. But the contractor's been doing a good job. They've been getting everything sealed up. They've been moving along, making progress.
Go ahead.
Yep, thanks, Andrew, for giving us an update on the construction projects in McLeod County. And then, Mr. Chair, lastly, yesterday, when I'll finish up my calendar here, we had an insurance committee meeting here at the Government Center. Our insurance broker is seeking requests for proposals on our health insurance plans that we offer, not just in McLeod County, but in Civil County as well. That's my report, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Commissioner Cheska?
Like everyone else, we had the workshop on the 1st of July after our regular meeting. after that meeting, I've had discussions with some of the landowners on the drainage issue and the DNR, and that stuff that we had kind of dealt with at that meeting. Again, it's an eye-opener to me to try and understand all that, which I don't understand it. And when I talked to the people, they said, you know, I know there's really not much that the county can do, but making us aware and as many other people, maybe someday that can change again. And then I attended a Zoom meeting with the NACO legislative update on the 7th. I'd never had a legislative update with them, so that was nice to listen to how they presented things on the national level with the one big beautiful plan or what the president has. So again, it's some of that stuff will, eventually get down to us here in the county, with some of my committees being those health and human services stuff that would be affected the most. So that's all I had.
Attorney's office? Okay, before I turn it back to our administrator, I just wanted to comment to the issue of that land sale, and I've been working on some of this stuff before, and again, it's not just the drainage. I mean, it's the loss of property taxes, and then again, not so much just to the school or just to the county, but to the schools and the roads. I mean, we're getting enough good land turning over that I believe that we have to at least run the data on what's going on and try to find some kind of a solution. It takes more than the way the structure is now for in lieu of taxes. It doesn't run long enough, or actually it's not able to follow the increases that the schools and counties and roads are impacting. So it's just something to look at, and I'll continue to do that. I don't like to be a thorn in people's sides sometimes, but we may have to be a pioneer. I mean, there's some things people are not sure what we can or can't do. We may have to poke the bear a little bit and find out what is legal and what has just been procedure policy for a long time. So with that, I'm our administrator.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. As you know, I had out-of-state travel last week, so I would give a summary then, and I will give you a short one. Last Wednesday through Friday, I traveled to and from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, representing McLeod County on the National Association of Counties Workforce Advisory Council prior to the national conference. I have been on the council since its inception in 2021. There was a good representation of counties across the United States. I attended a 6-hour meeting, and our topics of discussion included what resources are best fit to provide our counties to assist with workforce challenges and for the best value in their memberships of NACO. We talked about unfunded mandates, the cost of health insurance and weight management to counties on their insurance plans and loss in time. Public safety staffing and recruitment challenges for counties. We recapped the election workforce challenges and increased cost of elections to counties, which myself and Connie Kurtzweg participated in those listening sessions and were on those panels. And then we also discussed the 2025 remaining and the 2026 initiatives of the council. I worked with a small group to identify valuable training initiatives that the council could implement in 2026 to enhance value to member counties. That's all I have. Any questions on that?
I do, Sheila. Was there any talk at all, and it's more of a state issue than probably a NACO issue, on ranked choice voting?
I wasn't, I didn't go to the conference. So no, this was a workforce advisory council.
Okay, and I'd
So
ask
that's
your...
all focused. That
glad-
was discussed at the conference, I believe.
I'm glad you and Connie are staying up to date, because if you think the costs are high now, ranked choice voting, which I am absolutely opposed to, I'll use my bully pulpit for that, but that would be a disaster, and our state auditor is in favor of ranked choice voting, so I just caution everybody to look and see what it is, and make sure you understand it, because it's along with some other stuff that's coming down the pike that are going to get put on counties. You know, we need to educate ourselves, if that's the right terminology, but thank you, Sheila.
Any other questions? Thank you, Mr. Chair. Item A, consider reappointing Kevin Miller to the High Island Watershed District Board of Managers for a 3-year term beginning on September 1st, 2025, expiring August 31st, 2028. This open appointment was advertised in the McLeod County Chronicle on June 13th and 20th, 2025. Letters of interest were due to the County Administration Office by the end of day on June 27th. On Tuesday, July 8th, myself and Commissioner Wright met with Mr. Miller, and now we're asking for reappointment.
Move to approve. Motion's been made by Commissioner Wright to reappoint Kevin Miller after a meeting with him to the High Island Watershed District Board. Is there a second? I'll second. Seconded by Lori Shatska. Is there any discussion or questions?
Mr. Chair, I just want to add, Mr. Miller served on this board for many, many years, and through the interview process, it's pretty obvious his extensive knowledge of operations there, and his future goals definitely meet being able to be reappointed.
I would echo that as well. Kevin works tirelessly. I mean, he's going all the time anyhow, and he's got boots on the ground on most of the issues they deal with there, so he's a very good fit. With that, is there any other questions? Is there all in favor of reappointing Kevin? Say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. Item B, notification of McLeod Drainage Authority informational landowner meeting on the redetermination of benefits of County Ditch 3. There will be a presentation by the viewers in the Martin McLeod boardroom here at the McLeod County Government Center today, Tuesday, July 15th, 2025 at 1:00 p.m. The address is 520 Chandler Avenue North, Glencoe, Minnesota. Item C, notification of McLeod Drainage Authority final hearing on the redetermination of benefits of County Ditch 3. The Drainage Authority will accept public comment regarding the redetermination of benefits here in the McLeod or the Martin McLeod boardroom at the McLeod County Government Center, again at 520 Chandler Avenue North, Glencoe, Minnesota, and that will be on Tuesday, August 12, 2025 at 11:00 a.m. Item D, notification of board workshop, if needed, at 9:00 a.m. Tuesday, July 29, 2025 at the McLeod County Government Center, 520 Chandler Avenue North, Glencoe, Minnesota. At this time, we do not have anything on the agenda for that meeting. However, when we have the 5-week months, we do reserve it in the case that we would need it. It's likely that that workshop will not be held, but if anything is added, then it would be. Item E, notification of board workshop following the board meeting on Tuesday, August 5th, 2025 at the McLeod County Government Center, 520 Chandler Avenue North, Glencoe, Minnesota. And that workshop is expected to be held. Thank you.
And just a comment on that, I'm one that we like to keep the notifications of workshop, and we try to, we hate the idea of some short topics for the workshop, but with open meeting law and trying to get things done in time, we can't always wait. It's a month delay sometimes if we follow a different procedure, but I'm an advocate of keeping doing that. So just a comment with that open forum. Anyone from the public wish to address the board? Seeing none. Press relations, any questions? Thank you. With that, I'd like a motion to recess it for the next county board meeting at 9 a.m. on Tuesday, August 5th at the McLeod County Government Center, 520 Chandler Avenue North in Glencoe, Minnesota.
Move recess, Mr. Chair.
Motion's been made to recess from Commissioner Smalls. Is there a second? Second. Second from Commissioner Wright. Any discussion? Hearing none. We are recessed until August 5th.